Okay, hello everyone. This is Samuel, and I'm going to install Teamcenter 2512 Windows version through Deployment Center. So we have some prerequisites, and in the prerequisites we have the JDK, that is Amazon Corretto 21 version, MSSQL 29 version, and this I have taken checking it in the compatibility matrix. So these are the two softwares we need to download. There was another software that was in the previous versions of Teamcenter, and that was the web server. So now the web server is removed from the Teamcenter 2512 version. Externally, we don't need to install it. It will be installed internally while the installation of Teamcenter 2512 version. So let us jump into the installation process. So I have all the setups here that are required. So we have the first setup, that is Teamcenter 2512, and this is Windows version. We have the Amazon Corretto, that is JDK 21. We have the database server, that is MSSQL 2019 server. So we'll start from the installation of the Amazon Corretto. So perform double click on the setup. This is your setup wizard. Click on next. Now it is asking for the custom setup, and in custom setup it is asking for the location where you want to install this Java. So for the environment to be installed, I want everything, every component to be installed at one location. So I have created one folder. This is my desired location. This is SPLM. So I'll open this, and I have created one folder here, that is Java. Okay, so you have to create here one folder that is Java, and I'm going to install this Java in this location. Okay, so I'll open this folder and copy this path and click on browse, and I'll paste over here the folder name, folder path, and just click on next and click on install. So this is how you can install the Java. Click on finish. Okay, so this is the location where we have installed. Now we have to set some required user variables. So we'll search in Windows search here, view advanced system settings. So here it is. So you can open this, and then you can proceed with setting up of variables. So click on environment variables. Here you can see in the system variables section, the variable and the value for the Java is set automatically. Now click on select it and click on edit. Copy this path, click cancel, go in the user variables for administrator section, and you have to click on new, and just paste here the path, the location, and it is a variable value, and just type Java underscore home, as a variable name and click OK. So click on next, new, and also you create one new user variable that is JRE underscore home and paste the same path here. Click OK. Now if another name for the variable that is JRE 64 underscore home and paste the value, same value, and click OK. Now you can see these three user variables we have set. Click OK and click OK. Okay, now we can check here whether our variables are set or not. So we can go to the command prompt, type here cmd and run it as administrator. Now just type here set j as a command to check whether your variables are set or not. So here you can see your variables are already set. Also, we can check version, can confirm it. So we need to type this command java-version and hit enter. So it will show you the 21. This is the runtime environment, that is 21. Open JDK version, that is 21. This is 64-bit server Core 2. So this is how you can install Java. Okay, our second prerequisite is MSSQL 2019 version. So this is the setup here. So when you will download your setup, so it will extract this setup.exe in SQL 2019 folder, and that here it is. Now here we have developer edition, so that's why this folder is, and then all the contents that will be installed are present in this location. And here there is a application that is setup.exe we have will start installation for the database server using this setup.exe. So again, launch this setup, and we have the first wizard here, and here we have to click on installation, and we have the very first option, new server. Okay, new SQL server standalone installation or add features to an existing installation option. So we are installing the new server, that's why we'll go with this widget. Click on this link, and this is the product key area. This is our free edition, that's why will not provide any product key here, we don't have. And this is to specify the version edition. Okay, so this is developer edition, evaluation edition, express edition. So now we do have the developer edition, that is free version. Just click on next, accept the license terms and agreement. Okay, click on next, and here we don't need to provide the Microsoft update. Just go on clicking next, and it started the scan process. So scanning for the product updates is completed now. So it is downloading the setup files. extracting of that setup file is done now. So now here you can see the install rules are here. Okay, so Windows Firewall. The Windows Firewall is a warning. We have to stop our firewall settings from here. So firewall and network protection. Here we have to go and these firewalls are on. So we have to keep them off. The private network is also on. So we have to keep this as well off, and also the private network. So these are the firewall settings we have done right now, turning them off. Okay, so just go click next, and in the feature selection we have to select the database engine services, only one feature, and let it install or say this instance root directory in program files. Click on next. And this is the default instance I'm going with. I'm not going with the named instance. And this instance is MSSQL server. And just click on next here. So it will add this instance name, features, addition, versions, instant ID to our installation. Okay, so this is optional uh, option. You can grant perform volume maintenance task privilege, or either you can leave it. So these are the services, those will be installed now, and these are three services. Okay, as from here you can make it manual or automatic. So for server agent I'm making it automatic. Okay, click on next now, and here it is asking for the database engine configuration. So this is your server configuration. So here it is saying like specify the authentication mode and administrators for the database engine. So the authentication mode here are two types, two modes. Okay, one is Windows authentication mode and other one is mixed mode. So mixed mode contains SQL Server authentication and Windows authentication too. Okay, so select mixed mode so that you can use these authentication uh, during logging into the database. So uh, provide the password here for the SQL Server System Administrator SA account. Okay, so this will be the account that will handle the database connection processes. Okay, so just I'm going to take a notepad here and I'm going to maintain all those passwords and all the credentials that will be required in this environment. So just I'm keeping TCPLM @123 as a password for the system administrator account. So I'll copy this password and paste over enter password and custom password. Sorry, confirm password. So the next is specify SQL Server administrators. So now we have to specify the user who will be the server administrator for MSSQL. So just click on add current user. So it will add the user that will be using the database as administrator. So here it is. So how we can check that? So in the Windows, you can check here in the user session. Uh, in the user session, if you will go your keep your cursor here, you will get administrator. So this is the administrator user, and the current user, it is adding here. This is EC2 AMZ, and this is the host name that we are able to see now. So if you will type your host name, sorry, port name. Okay. So this is the machine name itself. So the system is taking this machine name and the user that is for this operating system. So now click on next and click on install. So this will install MSSQL server. So meanwhile, we had to wait till when this MSSQL server is installed. This will take a little bit of time. Meanwhile, I'm going to save this file because this is the file that will contain all the password credentials of the related components. So, and it will be required afterward also. So I'm going to keep it. So I'm naming it TC2512 installation credentials. Let's save it. So this is the user that is added to the system administrator account. So our installation is done. So in detail section, you can see that install is successful. Close this wizard. Also close this wizard. Now we have to configure SQL Server. So type here SQL and you will get SQL Server 2019 Configuration Manager, where we are going to configure some connections or say some protocols. So here you can see TCP IP. This is transfer control protocol or internet protocol setting that is disabled right now. So just before enabling it, you have to check the properties. Okay. And in the IP addresses, you have to check this port 1433 and you need to verify this to ensuring that your MSSQL database server is correctly installed. So as we can see here, these ports are available, so we can ensure that this is correct. Cancel it, right click again and click on enable and click OK. Now it is enabled. Also the named pipes would be enabled. Okay, these two settings we have done here. The another one is SQL Server services. So here you have these three services. The required services are MSSQL server and then server agent. So both are running. So make sure these two services are running. Okay, then exit. So we have done this configuration also. So the other processes are started. So deploying deployment center work files, done updating deployment center server properties, copying media file, copying deployment center utilities, and population of deployment center repository is going on. Now the repository service, Teamcenter deployment center repository services, deploying. Then Teamcenter deployment center repository publisher service, this is done, right? So these are the four services you can see here that are installed and also restarted. It means those services are present as a Windows service and those are running now. So we can verify that too. So if you will search for services, so these are the Windows services that it has installed right now. Okay, so it is not showing you. Okay, it will show here in the Teamcenter. So Teamcenter deployment service. Okay, so you can go and read the description. So what is the service, for what purpose? So that is defined here. Okay, Teamcenter deployment center repository publisher service is the service that publishes software packages that we take or we copy into this directory. The repository service is something that will make the communication to be enabled for the repository file or say that location. Deployment center service. So Teamcenter DC service is the main service for the deployment center. Then vault service is something that maintains the secrets of deployment center. So these are the four services that are installed. Now we can see the URL to access deployment center. So this we have to copy and we have to move to the Chrome or say browser, whatever you have, and just paste in the resource locator and hit enter. So this is the UI that you are able to see right now, and this is the deployment center UI. Okay, so we have to check logging in. So DC user, sorry, deployment center user is DC admin and the password is DC admin. Okay, so using these two user and passwords, you can log in. Okay, so I'm saving it for now. Here you can see four tiles. One is getting started with the deployment center. So it will uh, link you to the Siemens site where you can read some documents or say some getting started things, and you can get start with the deployment center. Environments is something that where you can create environments. Okay, software repository is something, okay, where you can see the active media or says whatever software media will be, you will be able to see obsolete media in the sense left out media. Okay, that is no more required. Okay, then overview. Okay, in the environment you will get the environments, what you have, machines. So in machine style, you will get the machine details. So whatever the configuration of your machine is, it will directly showcase you here itself. Okay, so now go to environment and you need to follow these many steps to create environment. So this is add environment button here. So clicking on it, we can add environment to this deployment center. So here you can see I have added one environment. The type is deployment development. Okay, development environment. But I want to be something different. So I'll go in the overview, click on edit, and I'll take the type of environment that is production. Here you can see the multiple environment types. So as per your requirement, you can take these types. Okay, I'm taking the production. Okay, I'll not name here anything. Name env001. I'm keeping it by default. So if you want, you can name it. Okay, after that, I'll save it. Okay, now our environment is created. If you want to see it, you can see it. Okay, then status it is showing is not installed. So it is not installed. Okay, now we have no software present here in the available software location, and that's why we have no software present here in the selected software list. Okay, also in the repository, you can go software repositories. You can see no software present. So we need to go and copy that software package to the software repository. So take one another file explorer, open the setup location. Oh, sorry, open SPLM location where we want to copy that software. So this is the deployment center where my deployment center is installed. And here you can see two folders that are installed, that are repository and web server. Okay, so here in the repository there is a software folder. So in the software folder we need to copy the software package. So just perform drag and drop option here. Okay, so hold that software package and drop it, drag and drop it to the software location. So now we have done this copying of file. We'll log out from here. Okay. Go to service, check whether they are up or not. So these are up now, and it will take some time to update the software to the repository. Okay, software repository. So now we can check logging in back to the deployment center, check in the software repositories. So you will get this software that is added here. So go back in the environments and you will be able to see the available software here also. Okay, now select this software package that is available, click on update selected software, and it will add that software, available software, to the selected software location. Okay, so the software product is Teamcenter, software is Teamcenter, the version is 2512 and the status is uninstalled means it is pending install. Now click on go to options, and here you will be able to see the options. Okay, so the options you have to select for this environment is the architecture type as Java EE. The environment type is single box because this is my single box environment, and infrastructure type is local. Okay, there are other options also, and those are to be selected according to the requirement. So I'm leaving by default the settings what it is right now. Okay, so save this environment options. So click on save environment options to save that environment. Now you have the selected applications or say modules when you are going to install this foundation, Teamcenter foundation. So some are the like some applications are by default added here. So you can see here, those are having this list, and whatever you want externally according to the requirement to be added on an environment. So you need to go on this add or remove selected applications options. So just I'll show you how to add, and just I'll add something, not everything. So I'll take Access Manager for Active Workspace. I'll take Active Content Structure, and I'll take Audit. I'll take I'll take the document management is there. I'll install. Yeah, I'll take content management. Where is the content management? Okay, let it be. So from here, I will try to find out preferences. Preference management. Then I'll go for PLM XML. So it is not showing PLM XML. Export import. It is not showing here. So PLM XML export import. We have to see here in the list. So PLM XML export and import. Okay, you have to select this for export and import operations. Preference management is for the preferences, reporting for reporting, create reports and all. Then we have workflow that is already taken. So this much I need for now. Okay, so now click on update selected applications. So it will update it to the component, application. Now click on go to components. Okay, you can see all these applications are pending and that those needed to be installed. So go to components. So here you can see the component list. Okay, so these are the client as well as the server components. So we'll be going to install every components here. Before that, I want to add. Okay, So add a component. So click on add component to your environment button and then select from here. So I'm going to take BMIDE standalone. Okay, you can read the description here. Okay, why those components? What are those components? So I'm taking a standalone because I want to suppose if I have the 4-tier environment as well as 2-tier environment, then I can connect those with the standalone, or I can take the PMID 4-tier. Okay, so I'm taking the 4-tier and so I'm taking 4-tier now, and then I'm taking the rich client also. So rich client, I'm taking 4-tier because I'm not installing multiple client. I'm not installing 2-tier, only the 4-tier. That's why I'm taking the 4-tier uh, BMID. So after selecting these two components, click on update selected components. So this will be added into this selected components list. Now we have to start the configuration. So click on start configuration button here. It will direct you to Active Workspace Client Builder. So I'm going to start from corporate server because uh, this is the uh, component that will create important folders, that is TC root, TC data, and the volume. These are the 3 locations that will be created when this corporate server is installed. Okay, so now it is asking for the machine name, and so we can get the machine name from here. Okay, so if you will type host name, so you can get it from here. And operating system is Windows, that's why we have to opt for Windows operating system. Now in general settings, it is asking for the Teamcenter installation path, so we have to provide the installation path. So as you know, we have created SPLM location and we are installing everything in this location only. So I'll type here TC 2512. So this is my location where I'm going to install my corporate server. I'll copy this path. So I've created a new folder and copied that path, and I'll uh, copy that location. So there is a team center root. So I'm going to rename it. So I'll keep it TC underscore root. So this will be my team center root location where I want to install every components of the Teamcenter environment. Now the Teamcenter data path is also located. So it will locate it automatically as you provide the path to the TC root. So you can see here, this is your uh, TC data. I'll rename it TC data. Okay, TC data is the location for the Teamcenter data. So where your Teamcenter data, or say TC data content contains the downloaded data set regarding the Teamcenter, and yeah, it will contain the Teamcenter data. Okay, now here Teamcenter administrative user is by default the InfoDBA. So you have to provide the same password here. So this will create the administrative user for your environment, and so you have to uh, keep the passwords as well for your reference. Okay, so this is Teamcenter administrative user and password. So that will be used again and again. So password update method is inside the deployment center, not outside of the deployment center. If you'll opt for outside deployment center, so you can read this. Okay, select how the TC admin password is updated and synchronized with the deployment center. Through deployment center, the password is changed directly within deployment center. This is the recommended option to ensure automatic synchronization of the password file. The second option is outside deployment center. So it is the update only. So the password has already been changed outside deployment center. Example using make user utility. So if you perform make user utility to create the users, in this case, deployment center will only update its password file to reflect the new password. But again, for the synchronization, might be some problem you can face. So this the recommendation is means the settings, that is for the password update method is recommended only the deployment center so that it can automatically synchronize all those things. Okay, user account. So the login account to the corporate server will be the host name and the user, that is for your OS, and the password is your OS password. Okay, so my OS password is also the same, that is TCPLM at the rate 123. So if you do have any other passwords, so you can provide that OS password here as a login account. Volume settings. So default volume, we do have the default volume and volume directory for default volume and the transient volume. So default volume is something that is a default directory where it will install or it will store all the physical files. Okay, it will store all the physical files that are within the Teamcenter environment. The transient volume directory is something that is the temporary volume file where your temporary files will be stored. Okay, password security. So this is the administrative password directory that is inside the TC root, and there is a folder that is security. So there it will be created, means the encrypted password will be generated in the security location. Cache generation. Okay, so generate server cache and generate client cache are two settings here. You need to enable it. Okay, by default it will be enabled, so nothing to do here. Generate server cache means it will generate the caches regarding the server side. Okay, and uh, the purpose for this server cache generation is it will improve the performance of the server, and the client cache purpose is to improve the performance on the client side. Okay, NX graphics builder settings. We don't need to do this if you are not with the installation of NX. So this is inbuilt setting that is given here for the NX connections. So either you can provide it now or you can let it be for afterward. So, but I'll provide it right now. And this NX graphics builder settings. So this will use this Teamcenter 4-tier URL. So for 4-tier URL 7001/TC, this will be your port and complete URL. Okay, so FSC server ID. So this is incomplete now. So as we'll fill up those credentials to the FSC connection URL and FSC settings, FSC ID will be generated. automatically. Okay, so this is our FSC connection settings. That is the URL that have the port 4544. The database server. Okay, database. Click on override connection and provide the host name. Now we have the license server. Okay, so we do have the license server, and this is one of the prerequisite we have. You should have the license server where your license is installed, because for the Teamcenter installation you need the license as well. Means you need to, if you want to use the Teamcenter, if you want to run the Teamcenter, you need to install the license on the license server. So this is my license server. IP address where my license file is installed, means where my license, Siemens license is installed. Then we have indexing engine URL. Using this URL, our indexing engine will use it. Colon 8983 slash solar. Okay, this is the complete URL we have. Now we have indexing engine URL, sorry, user, that is solar admin. Copy this. I'm sorry. And save this component setting also. Okay, and this is my user, and that is indexing engine user. So that is my solar admin. Now this is database server. So for database server, we have the host name, we have the machine that is we have. So provide it. The operating system is Windows. So we have the Windows 64-bit. Then database creation settings. Database creation options are there. So we have to opt for create and populate database, and that will create a new data directory. For Oracle, this means a table space will be created. For MSSQL, a database will be created. Means for Oracle, in case of Oracle, if you are going with the Oracle installation, then means Oracle database installation, or say you have installed Oracle database, you that will be the table space that will create it. And for MSSQL, for now we have MSSQL, so database will be created. So it is asking for the database path where you want to install your database, or say create your database. So again, go to new and create one folder, naming it database. Okay, hit enter and copy this path and provide here as a database path. The second option, that is populate database or create new data directory, is something for the other scenario. Okay, the copy environment using existing populated database also with the other scenario. Okay, so the database settings, we have MSSQL server, that's why I'm taking it. MSSQL database user, we have to create the user, and uh, here you can see the option use Windows authentication, but we have opt for, or say we have provided mixed mode authentication and while the installing database server, so we'll not gonna use Windows authentication right now. The user, okay, user, you can name it DB user or something. You can give it. So I'm keeping it administrator, and this will be my user, and password will be the same. Okay, I'm keeping the user database server administrator and the password also same. And moving on next, we can see the database port here. That is by default 1433 for the MSSQL. The database name is TC. Okay, you can name it DB. TCDB means Team Center Database. So this will be the Team Center database. Database system user credentials. So system. So system will access using ASA account, and we do have the password here for what we have provided earlier. Okay, so provide that password here. The character encoding settings will be to UTF-8 by default. Save these component settings. Now in the FSC, we have machine name. OS name is Windows 64. And the general settings, Teamcenter installation location is to TC root, because TC root is the main installation directory where we are going to install every component. FSC server ID, you see it is generated here. Okay, the port for FSC is 4544. The connection URL is this one. And then moving ahead, login account, it is asking for the login account. So provide the same login account what you have provided to the corporate server. So copy that, and the password for the OS, the login account is tcplm@123. So use that. Local system account, we don't require that because server components should be accessible using the administrator only. And this is the recommendation, okay, by the Siemens itself. So the FSC master settings is by default master. So there are settings like master and slave. So you can know that master is the master one and the slave is like slave only. Okay, so key store password. So it is asking for the key store password. So you can provide anything you want. So I'm gonna provide here tcplm@123, and yeah, key options will be by default. Save this component. Is now HTTPS config. So here it has by default settings that are done. HTTPS configuration details, you have to keep use deployment center vault generated certificate, and that will be by default. Okay, this certificate will be used for the connection. The domain name, okay, certificate information domain name. Okay, so as a domain name, you can provide here the host name, or it is not important, you can leave it. Java CSVRT password. So I'm going to provide the same password here and save the component settings again. Indexer. Indexer is a component that is useful for the indexing of the data, Teamcenter data, to the Solar location or say Solar database. So the installation location for indexer is TC root, and the install database triggers for indexing is selected here. That will install the database that requires that is required for TCFT's indexer. So that will be installed here. So indexing environment, indexer settings, indexing environment will be standalone so that you can use it when you will install the dispatcher also. Okay, so standalone is recommended. Okay, if you will install dispatcher based, then you will only be able to use with the dispatcher related things. Okay, so standalone mode will standalone base will support the dispatcher base as well, and then object data indexing will also be supported using the standalone. That's why we have to select for standalone. Staging directory is working. Okay, inside the tcfts indexer, indexer is the indexer component that will be installed inside the tc root, and it will be the working. Okay, so yeah, for your connection settings, connection option is there. So direct communication through Teamcenter web tier. So indexer will communicate directly through the 4 tier. So this is your complete URL. Application name is Teamcenter, sorry, TC. Teamcenter 4 tier URL at the prefix, at the suffix, it will use /TC. That is for the TC word that it will generate internally. Okay, index your service settings, run as service. If you want to run it as Windows service, you have to enable this. Okay, if you want to auto start this service, you can select it to auto start service, or if you don't want, leave it as it is. Operating system user, again it is asking for the operating system users. So for operating system user, again provide the same login account, praise login account credential here, and the password for the OS. That is same thing. If you will have, if you have the different thing, you have to go with that credential. Okay, so administrative user, no need to select the administrative user for indexer. In by default, InfoDB is the administrative user, so that will use it. Okay, so just save the component settings. Okay, indexing engine. So here you can see the indexing engine that is as a service. Here you can see that will be installed in the TC root, and active workspace indexing service will be created as a Windows service. Okay, Windows, sorry, now we have the same settings here. Indexing engine user, that is the Solar admin by default, and keep this password, same password. Okay, and you can use this URL here for connecting to, or say logging into the Solar UI. Okay, so that is a UI. You can go with the URL. Again, it is asking for the operating system user. So here you can be able to provide the operating system user. So copy the same thing what you have and paste over here, and the password also the same OS password it is asking for. So you have to provide the same thing. Now the SSL configuration, we are not configuring that, but by default the server protocol is defined to HTTP, so we'll leave it. Okay, means leave it to HTTP. Save component settings. Okay, so after this we have to provide the, again it is asking for license, so I'll point to my license server. This is my license server. It is the, it is having the operating system that is Windows, and the port, the Teamcenter licensing port that is running on is 29,000. So it will be accessible at that port only. So the port number is defined on the license file. So we need to provide these credentials and move ahead saving component settings. So microservice node. Now in the microservice node. This is the microservice. Okay, so there are a lot many microservices that will be used in the Teamcenter environment. So we'll be using for that, and then for the microservice to handle all those microservices those are present in this environment will be handled with the Teamcenter Process Manager. That will be as a Windows service name, and by default it is selected to install Process Manager as a Windows service, so let it be. And that microservice node type will be master, and service dispatcher settings. Okay, the protocols that are defined already, so you don't need to do anything here. This URL will be the endpoint URL that will be used for service dispatcher. And now the service registry settings, you can see here the AD7 port is for the Eureka. Okay, that is a component that of the microservice. Master settings JWT key store password, so it is important, so provide the same password what you are providing for everything, so that it will not be difficult for you when it will be usable by you or any other person. Okay, now the gateway setting is so direct communication through Teamcenter web tier, so it will use the Teamcenter web tier for connection. Okay, so the host name is this, and the gateway port is 3000, and 3000 is the port. Okay, so this is the four tier URL communication, so it will follow this. There is a file repo folder for microservice properties to be installed, and this file will be created. So this is the file storage storage path display name, where your file regarding the active workspace or say microservices will be installed on that. Okay, so we do have the microservices list here, and Teamcenter GraphQL that is used by the application that is active workspace base, and declarative artifact service that is for also active workspace base. Teamcenter microservice framework, the service name is Eureka. Okay, that will also used by the active workspace. And then Teamcenter microservice framework, service dispatcher, parameters store, and then file repository service. So this will be used by the file repository. So this is the file repository service. Again, we are coming to like the same as deployment center repository service. So this is file repository service, the file repository location that is created that will use this file repository service. Okay, so go to the server manager now. Okay, it is skipping here. So go to the server manager. Here, this is the pool manager, we call it. Earlier it was pool manager, now we call it the server manager. So it has the installation location that is DC root, and config1 is the file that will be, and inside that the component will be. So server manager service name as a Windows service will be Teamcenter Server Manager config1 pool A. The cluster ID in which cluster this Teamcenter Server Manager will be. So that cluster ID is TC cluster. And now here you will get uh, server pool ID, that is the pool A. This is the important one. This is MUX URL multiplexing, and that is using 8087 as port. So these are the backend processes, that's backend components that will use these ports. Okay, server host. So this is important. So you need to provide the server host. So server host, server manager host is the host name or the machine name that is same. Okay. The maximum server in the server pool will be 30 minutes. tcserver.exe's maximum is defined to 30. Minimum warm service is 1. We cannot keep it 0 because anyhow we have to use one tcserver.exe or warmed up servers at a time. Okay, so startup mode for the service is given by default to command line, but as we are installing it as a Windows service, so we'll be selecting here, we have to select here service or daemon. Okay, communication to other components, so it will communicate with other components. Okay, server manager database, so here you need to provide the host name itself. I'm sorry, so where your server manager database will be installed. Okay, and the logs, this is the custom base file location where your user profile is. So there it will create one Siemens folder and there your logs will be generated. Save these component settings and go to server manager database. It will direct you to this location, provided the host name, and then the same database path. Okay, same database path where you want to create Teamcenter database and the server manager database. So where your Teamcenter database will be there itself, we want to install the database for the server manager. So there is another option also, use an existing database for server manager cluster. If we had those existing database, we can opt for the second option, but we don't have, we are creating the new one. That's why we are going to provide this location. Database server setting as, keep the database server setting as MSSQL because we do have MSSQL server. The port it is going to use is 1433. Then we have database name. Okay, this is TC cluster DB by default. If you want to keep it by default, keep it. Otherwise, you can keep the different name, the custom name for server manager database. Okay, so TC cluster DB will be my server manager database. Again, it is asking for database system user credentials, that is system user SA. So I'll be providing this same password here, FaithPLM at the rate 123, what I provided earlier. Okay, save these component settings now. Okay, so now I think it is completed. Save this component. Okay, we have saved, I think. So it is saved. Now you will get, sorry. You need to check for Teamcenter client communication settings as well. So here for client communication system in TCCS, okay, machine name is the same thing. Okay, install FCC. So it will install FCC. We don't have the existing FCC. Okay. So leave the current setting as it is. Host name. Okay, so we need to provide the host name here. Okay. So provide the host name because this is important one. Okay. So by default, it will use this current settings. Okay, it will follow the communication using the 4-tier URL. Okay, 4-tier URL. Then Teamcenter web tier machine name is this host name FSC. Okay, so FSC will communicate using this URL and save the component settings because we have added here the host name. Now we have Teamcenter web tier. So in the web tier, we have to check the host names and ports as well. Web tier root path is TC. We have the service name. This is the new thing here. Okay, so Teamcenter web tier. Okay, in the previous versions of Teamcenter, you will not get the Teamcenter web tier service because the third-party software is being removed now completely here and is added internally to the uh, deployment center configuration. So here, using this uh, setting, we are going to install the web tier. Okay, so this is the complete setting here. Okay, application name. So application name could be anything, but I'm keeping it tc.war as it was earlier in the previous versions. Okay, so this is the complete settings we do have. The port is 7001. I haven't changed it. Okay, for the port here, I'm keeping the same. Save this component settings again. It is saved now. Now go to BMIDE settings. So in the BMIDE 4-tier settings, it will ask for Java development kit path. So we have the Java location where we have installed already. So we'll copy this path and provide here. Okay, so if you will enable, then you can see here whatever the components or applications or say features or say preferences, sorry, not preferences, templates that are selected here for the installation, and that will be added into BMIDE as well. So Teamcenter connection name is TCWeb1. This is for the 4-tier connection, and Teamcenter 4-tier URL is the URL that will be uh, used by VMIDE modular 4-tier, right? And then you have rich client as well. So click on rich client 4-tier, and here you will be able to see the configuration settings what you do have by default. So just need to cross check the verify it. Okay, so nothing you have to do here. Okay, so just save this component setting also, and then we have to go and the active workspace client builder here. So we do need to check here also. So yeah, publish active workspace client assets to the gateway. So this setting is already selected here. Perform component build is something new setting that will perform building of component to the gateway. The client locales, so locales you can select here are what you need according to the requirement. If you have some like clients, those will be using uh, like according to their location, so you can provide them the languages, means locales they want. Okay, so this is the active workspace gateway. This is the URL using which you will be able to access the active workspace client. Okay, so you will be able to log in to your active workspace client, or so you will be accessing active workspace client using this URL. Okay, so I think nothing we have done here, no need to save it. It is almost done. Active workspace gateway, go to active workspace gateway. Here you have to check for ports and all. Okay, port 3000, that is By default it is, so leave it. Volume connection settings. So volume connection settings, we have to change it to assigned FSC URLs. So this is assigned FSC URL, and this will be this will use the URL that is for the FSC connection. Okay, Teamcenter server connection settings. So this is the 4-tier environment, so it will use the 4-tier. Okay, so now it is done. Save the component settings, and we are done with it. So we need to cross verify once the status. Okay, if you are seeing the flag, that means it is installed. If you are seeing this, hence this is pending install. So you can check the location also where those components will be installed. So most probably most of them are in the root directory, TC root. Okay, so now it is okay. Every component is 100%. So now we'll go to deploy it. So click on go to deploy, and click on generate install scripts. So it will generate script for the deployment in a few couple of minutes. So you can see a successful script generation is done now. So this is the overview. You can deploy instructions are given here. You can follow these instructions. Okay, so this is the script that will be that is generated, and this is in the zip file, and this is the target machine where it is generated, and these are the components that regarding those the script is generated. Okay, so environment snapshot information. So this is snapshot information. So you need to know these instructions. This is required for the quick deploy, and the instructions for machine scripts, how you can deploy it. So these instructions are written over here. Okay, so this is the script. Okay, this is the location where your script is. So I have selected this script and copied it. Now I'll paste here in the search, okay, and open it by double clicking it. So you can see this is the location deploy, and this is the uh, zip file that is for the script. So right click on it and extract this file here. Okay, so it will extract it. Open the extracted one and select and copy this path. Open a command prompt. Okay, take a new command prompt, run it as administrator, type cd, paste the copied path, hit enter, and type here deploy. Okay, deploy.bat, deploy.bat. Okay, this is the deploy.bat file. This is batch file that is accessing deploy.bat file that is in this file only. Okay, now we have to use the command. So again, if you don't know, you can go with -h, and you can pick pick those commands from there. So the commands are -dc username equal to dc admin -dc password equal to dc admin hyphen software software location equal to, you can type your default. Okay, default. Okay, you can keep it default, or you can go and provide the location where you have. Okay, so go to the repository software, and here you do have this software package. So you can copy this path and provide here also. Okay, also this option will work. So these are the two ways you can provide the software location. So if you will type default, it will take it by default location. It will pick directly from the repository only. Okay, that has its mechanism here. You can follow that. Okay, and hit enter. Okay, so this will start validating all these authentication things, validating that scripts are running on this machine or not. Okay, Java, it will validate the Java version. It will validate the operating systems and all. And these are the steps, 431 steps that it will start deploying. Okay, so after 431 steps that are deployed, okay, so after these steps are deployed successfully, you will be able to uh, see the installed Teamcenter environment on your operating system. So this was the actual process of the installation. So it will take some time, okay, almost 2 to 3 hours to be deployed. Okay, we have also got here error. So the deployment is failing. It has failed because I think there is a problem in MSSQL database connections. So failed to connect to the MSSQL server database on the machine. So we can go with the corrective actions to tackle this error, okay, this issue. So again, the second one also is there for the TCDB only. So it is not able to connect the Teamcenter database. So for that, we have to go for the deployment log file location. We need to check the location where it is deploying. So what is the cause for this failure? Okay, so we need to check that. So copy that log location, open it, and after opening it, okay, so it is opened here in the notepad. So just find it, failed, type here failed and find next. Why it is failing? So here you can see it is failed, and the corrective measurement is also given here. So you can follow the corrective measurements, so measures. Okay, so failed to connect MSSQL database server on the machine is a message. It is displaying here. So it is indicating that system is unable to connect to the database because of one or more connection parameters are not valid. Okay, so the corrective action it is telling us is like, please specify correct values for the database connection parameters. Login to the deployment center. Okay, you need to check the machine name, the database service. Okay, we can check the database service as well, database port, user password to ensure they are correct. And then we need to generate the deploy scripts and execute the newly generated deploy script on this machine. Okay. So yeah, so for this we'll check using check restarting service. So for MSSQL server, it is not connecting to the database, so we'll start this service. Okay, so restart this service. So it will start database server agent, means SQL server agent also. And now we don't need to go to the deployment center again, but go to the existing command prompt, and with existing command, start that. Okay, use the up arrow key to use the same command and hit enter. So it will start the deployment again with the step where it was. Okay, and after successful completion of this deployment, we will be able to see our environment. So now, as the deployment is successfully done, so we can see here the Teamcenter application, the BMIDE application. So this is your current environment, what you have installed. So we can check all those components here in the TC root. The TC data is populated well. The volume is populated well. Okay. Now in the SPLM, you have the other files also. Okay, so now because this is our 4-tier URL, so we need to restart the services. Okay, so we do have the Teamcenter, server manager, we have the FSA service, we have global search indexing that is not required. The process manager, this is required for the Active Workspace client. So let us log into the rich client first. So Teamcenter FSC. Okay, we have to start it. So this is running. I have started it. And the server manager, we haven't started yet. So I'll be starting this. So this I have done. Now the other web tier service is Teamcenter web tier. So I'll start this service also. The other resource tier is MSSQL server, so it is running. So now it is by login and check. So this is the UI you will get. So this is InfoDB user. Using this user, you can log in, and yes. So also we can check login to the Active Workspace client. So it will take some time. So in this way, you can log in your rich client. So this is the UI you can see here. Okay. So I'm exiting it. Let us log in to the Google. Go to Google Chrome and just log into Teamcenter Active Workspace clients. So you have to type here HTTP, and this is the complete URL what I have. So using this, I can log in it. or you can put here the local host. You can type here local host. So type a local host and enter. So this is the UI. Okay, local host in the sense this same machine, same host name. So use string for DBA and log in here. So this is our UI of Teamcenter 2512 Active Workspace client.
You can reach out to us for any of your Siemens software business requirements, as well as services and solutions business requirements.